Thank you for joining us today. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome to the family. Can you believe we're only a few days out from Decision Day? Please subscribe so that you can be part of the congregation. And if you want to be part of the conversation, then comment in the comment section below. We will be reviewing Jasmina and Michael on season 14, episode 16. So let's get right into it. Welcome to Fueled by Intentions, where we talk about faith, family, finances, fitness, and fun. Sponsored by Bynum's Business Solutions, where the right fit is made simple. We specialize in tips, tools, and strategies designed to help you achieve your financial health so that you can take control of how you spend your money so that you can spend more time with your family, friends, and doing the things you love. So let's jump right into the video. Hello, John. How are you doing today?
I am doing fine, Evawani. How are you?
I am doing great. We are on episode 16. Are you in or are you out? What did you think about Jasmina and Michael on this episode?
I thought this was a good episode. When I look at that title, Are You In or Are You Out? We're looking at them as individuals and trying to figure out which one is really in, which one is really out, and we're praying that they're both in.
Yes, I agree, but I really think that on this one, Jasmina is, I'm out. The episode started out with Michael doing a cameo in the car. And he was saying the only thing that he can change by himself is showing up 100% authentically him. Everything else, him and Jasmina had to work on as a partnership.
Well, I think that he has. I think he's come a long way. So he's really showing, to his surprise, I believe. I don't think in the beginning that Michael knew who his authentic self really was. He thought it was this shell. And now he's found out that, he's come out of the cocoon, as you will, and he's flying now. He has his wings and he's flying as his authentic self. Mr. Vulnerable, Mr. Easy to talk to, Mr. I can talk to you about anything now because I feel free, I trust you, I'm willing to share. Michael is his authentic self, and his authentic self is shining.
Absolutely. The next thing we see from Michael and Jasmina is we see Michael talking to his sisters, all of them together, and we see Jasmina talking to her guy friend. Oh my God, I do not know what I thought about that. But one thing I love to see with Michael's family is they have a new baby. I love little babies. The baby was so cute. So Michael, if you're watching, congratulations on the new addition to your family. Congratulations, Erica. We wish you much success with your new baby. And we see him talking to his sisters about Decision Day. What did you think about the advice that the sisters gave?
I love the advice that the sisters gave because it's the same advice that I would have given him. Michael, it's time to make a move. It's time to show her that you are the man and you want affection and you want intimacy, and you're going to let her know that this is what I want, and she's going to have to refuse because you're going to advance. And man, that's what you need to do. You need to advance, let her know the man you are, that it's time to take charge in this area of the relationship, and I'm willing to make that first move. So that's what I think the advice that the sisters gave him, and that's the advice that I think Michael should take.
Interesting, because I disagree wholeheartedly. But one thing that I did like about it is I don't think that Michael should make a move because I think that Jasmina has already made her stand. But one thing that I loved is Jasmina's friend basically asked her about Michael making a move, and if he did, like, would she be kind of receptive to that? And I loved her answer. She said that she thinks that he is holding back because he is being considerate of how she feels. And the sisters in their cameo, they said that he was holding back because he is being considerate about how Jasmina feels. We already heard, and she admitted on this episode, that she is very vocal. So I feel like after she's been vocal about something, that you have to respect that. But I am so glad that Jasmina realizes that Michael is trying to be respectful. I did like the advice that his sisters gave him, and that was to think about himself and what he wanted to sacrifice and what his needs were and what that's going to cost them. However, I think they answered the question and they were like, well, we think about how much your marriage means to you. And then they said, we think it means a lot. So I think that they wanted him to analyze that, but I think that they know that the answer to that is that he wants to stay in his marriage.
I just think Michael should make a move. And if that's really what she does not want, if she doesn't really not want intimacy, if she doesn't want an intimate relationship with Michael, then hey, I'm going to go for it and burn. I would rather try it and burn than to question, I wish I would have. And I think for most men, it's sometimes, I wish I would have at least tried. I rather try and burn than to not have tried at all. So I don't want Michael to live that life of regret. I wish I would have. I think he should make the advance.
Okay, I really love the advice that Jasmina's male friend gave her. I think that you have to really be careful when your spouse is really good friends and seeking advice from the opposite sex. Now, mind you, we probably all do it all the time because we're not always with our spouse. We talk to coworkers that we get really close to. But I don't know, because I see sometimes, that can turn into a little more when you're spilling out their problems. I did like the advice that her friend gave her to do all she can to pursue her marriage. I think that was great advice, especially from someone who may be attracted to you, because Jasmina is a beautiful woman, so I cannot imagine anyone not being attracted. But I love that he told her to go all in and pursue her relationship.
I think that guy, that she didn't have anything to worry about because Jasmina is particular. And I think that she would only go to someone that she really felt comfortable with, especially discussing the topic that they're discussing in terms of her relationship and possibly intimacy with another gentleman. I think a lot of times women will do this because they understand that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We think differently. So sometimes when you're talking about a male, you want the opinion of another male because they usually have similar thoughts or similar actions that you may not pick up on. So I think sometimes when you're talking to someone, especially about the opposite sex, the person that might be more familiar with that would be a person of the opposite sex.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad I have sister-in-laws. Hi there, sister-in-laws. If your brother needs to talk, make sure you're available. That could be my own insecurity, so we will just move on. But hey, shout out to my sister-in-laws. The next thing we see is the schoolyard pick. We see them playing flag football, and Jasmina got picked last, and she commented on it about that made her feel like she was back in grade school.
Well, when she was, I'm thinking about when she reflected back on her stepmother and the way that she was treated. She felt like she was abandoned by her natural parents, and now her stepmother treated her badly. So I think what she's saying is she was always left out. She always felt left out, and being picked last made her feel left out again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was wondering if that was a producer's question, because even though Olajuwon got a bad rap for picking Katina second, I think that was a smart move, because with him picking Katina second, he got first dibs on another couple. So I feel like him picking Steve was him picking his couple so that Mark wouldn't, because who's gonna pick your wife? They know, they kind of been playing in pairs. So I felt like that was a smart move. And then because Michael got picked, we know Jasmina is gonna end up being on the same team. So, but I don't know, but she could have been really hurt because sometimes those childhood wounds, they never heal. At the end of flag football, they all kind of wrapped up what their feelings were. Michael said that he feels like they both need to focus on the things that they had promised to one another. But Jasmina said that she is gonna focus on where they are emotionally, and she does not feel emotionally secure, but she feels like they're in a better place. And I just feel like that is another signal that Jasmina is waving the flag to us, letting us know that it is gonna be a no for me. No for me. I do not think that Jasmina, she keeps saying it over and over, that she needs to feel emotionally secure and have that emotional intimacy kind of feeling. And she keeps saying it every chance she gets, that she does not.
You don't know what you don't know. And that's the problem that I have with Jasmina. The fact that she doesn't know what it would take for her to be emotional when it comes down to Michael. She can't tell him if he asked her. She couldn't tell her friend if he asked her. She doesn't know. Okay, so she's the one that basically decides what would trigger her intimacy. And since she doesn't know, no one knows. So I guess it won't be triggered. So that's why I said that Michael will have to just take the step, take the plunge, because she says one thing, she says she wants one thing, but she does another. Just fight through all that and just take the chance. Give her a kiss.
All right. Next, we see Jasmina and Michael. They go salsa dancing and they have dinner. I love the salsa dancing. I would love to do that myself. I think it is so romantic, something fun, something intimate. I really have enjoyed the exercises that they have been doing in order to try to build more intimacy within their relationship. And it sounded like this was an activity that Michael decided to do for them both and not something that the experts recommended for them to do. So I was really glad to see that. And then at dinner, I don't know, kind of went from bad to good to worse, I guess, because I was so sad when Michael said, this did not go the way I intended, because again, I like that Jasmina took her friend's advice, because she took her friend's advice and she said, I'm telling you about my emotions all the time, which I wanted to say, well, where and when, and why come we haven't seen that? And are you telling him when the cameras are not there? Because we haven't seen you really tell him much of anything, although we hear you complain about what he is or is not telling you. So I don't know if she's doing her stuff off camera and we just don't see it. But she was saying that she expresses herself a lot and she wanted to be quiet and hear what he had to say, which I thought that was doing what her friend asked her to do. See where he was, see how he feels. And he blatantly said that, yes, I see why we're matched. I have romantic feelings for you, which is what she said she needed to her friend. She said that's what she needed from Michael, and he did that. And then her response is, I'm not romantically attracted to you. So I feel like that is gonna be the friend zone. I think are they friends? Are they lovers? I think that at this point, they are friends. They are stuck in the friend zone.
I agree with you.
Do you think one of the issues that Jasmina has with this intimacy is that because all of her relationships have been long distance, that she does not know what true intimacy is. Because when I think about a long distance relationship, the only way that I can really put it where maybe you might understand it is if a man cheats on his wife and he goes, every time he goes away to the girlfriend, they're not doing life together. They're like on vacation every single time. They get to see each other in the good times. They're enjoying the moment, and then he goes home and deals with the mundane of life with his wife, and she's getting on his nerves because you have to deal with the daily activities of the grind. So I'm looking at it as Jasmina doesn't know real intimacy because she's only done the vacation dating. When you go see somebody long distance or you talk on the phone, you're not going to talk and tell them everything about your day. If you're not in a good mood, then you don't have to talk to them, or you can be short with them that day. But now she is living in a relationship, seeing this person every day, and the excitement of seeing that person when you're on vacation, when you're just tipping in and out, I think is different. And I think that may be why she has an issue with intimacy. What do you think about that?
I think that's right. I think you just hit the nail right on the head. I think what Jasmina has experienced is what I would call a snapshot, but she's never played the video. See, marriage is a video. It's not a snapshot. It's not just a set point in time. It's a video. It has to be played. It has to endure. Jasmina is not used to, or Jasmina has not experienced the roller coaster of a real relationship, which is what we call the video. All she's seen is that snapshot, which is that set point in time that she was able to be with this significant other for that short period of time. And then she goes back to her own home and can continue to dream about the relationship or the rendezvous that she just had. Where when it's a real relationship, then you have to endure the bad times along with the good times. So because of that, I don't think Jasmina knows what a real relationship is. And what she calls intimacy may be more fantasy.
Oh, it could be infatuation too, because when you're just seeing people every now and then, you're kind of infatuated. But I wish she would reflect on those relationships, because it sounded like she had more than one long distance relationship. And although the infatuation and the feeling of vacation and euphoria that you may have felt, it didn't last. So there is still some reason as to why that long distance relationship did not last.
Are those long distance relationships?
Yes, those long distance relationships did not last for Miss Jasmina. The next thing we see from Jasmina and Michael is their last night together. And Jasmina is packing it in. She is not leaving a toothbrush. She not leaving a hair comb. She is not leaving a t-shirt. She is not leaving a hair clip. Now, mind you, she could be doing that because they're literally moving out of the apartment, but it sounded to me just how it was going that she was packing it all in. He said either that night or when she was leaving, when you're thinking about decision day, think about our future family. And to me, that was Michael giving her a signal that he really wanted this relationship and that he would be willing to say yes.
Yes, I agree. He told her the ball is in your court. I'm going to say yes. Now the question is, what are you? Michael said this decision day will either be our new beginning or it will be our end.
I think Jasmina has revision history, because she said, well, when we first moved into the apartment and I was about to leave, you were like, go on. That's not what he said on camera. When she was first moving out that first day and she said she made up the lie and said she had to go take care of her dog, and she admitted that that wasn't the reason, he asked her, you should stay because, we can't run away from our problems. And she was like, no, I just got to. So he wasn't like, go. I
Yeah.
do agree with them both that when you've been through some things and you have been together, it is harder for that person to leave. So I do think it was harder for him to see her leave that night than it was on the first night. But I disagree. I think that the actions and the statements that he made when she was leaving at the beginning of the season, that it was, he didn't want her to leave. He said, you should stay, we should work it out. You know, you don't have to go. So I think that she is remembering that differently. But of course, Michael, he is trying to be very peaceful. So he didn't even correct her. He just laughed and agreed because he does not want there to be any tension between them.
And he made it clear in one of the past episodes that everything had to go perfect for that decision day yes to come. So he knows with Jasmina, everything has to go perfect. And Michael has done exactly what he needed to do as far as I'm concerned in terms of being his authentic self. He's shown that he's a good listener. The activities that he's planned were very successful activities. Jasmina had a lot of fun in the activities that Michael planned. So it shows that he reads her well in terms of doing things that he thinks that she would enjoy. So I think Michael has done, besides, making that advancement that I would love for him to make, besides that, I think he's done all that he can do.
I think for this couple, the fuel that we can use is just to remember to be our authentic self, regardless of what others think about us. I know that the Bible says that we are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. And I think in this episode, we see Michael trying to be his authentic self and wanting to be accepted and being disappointed because she doesn't have those romantic feelings for him. And I think we saw Jasmina kind of getting down because she wasn't the first schoolyard pick and was the last one on the game. But we can only be who we are, who God made us, and to know that we are loved by God regardless of what other people say. And we all should do what Michael said he is going to do. And we should show up in the world that we live in, whatever that entails for each of us individually, and show up as our authentic self, because we are wonderfully and beautifully made by God, which is the important part. What is your yes on decision day prediction for this couple?
I believe Michael is going to say yes. I believe Jasmina is going to say no.
Interesting. I agree with you wholeheartedly, which I think is kind of different from the Katina Olajuwon. Well, I guess we'll get into that on our next video. Go watch Katina and Olajuwon next. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, live with intention. Be intentional.